The story of Halo Combat Evolved can be summed up as a simple war between the human race and alien races. While it is not wrong, it actually ignores the tragic story and themes behind the entire game. It is a theme of solitude that is carried throughout the entire game. It is always forgotten in favor of the action scenes, and that is disgraceful. It is a theme that starts from the very beginning when you get out from cryo-freeze and how you end the game. The theme of solitude is carried by both Chief and Cortana, both together and alone. It is always when they confront this solitude that are some of the best moments in the game.
Your architecture isn't much different from the Autumn's.
Don't get any funny ideas.
Throughout the entire first mission, which is a tutorial in a sense, you fight elites and grunts every single step of the way. You always see them fighting scientists, engineers, and marines, and either they're always wiped out or are already dead by the time you get there, leading to a feeling of only the enemy survives and you're all alone, always fighting the odds against you. When you reach the end of the mission, you get an escape pod full of marines and the lieutenant will fly you to safety. As you think, finally, am I going to have a little squad of marines to help me out fight against the Covenant at Halo? Or will they get their own fronts and be around the entire ring as we try to fight them off one by one? Unfortunately, none of that happens.
At last! Are you alright? Can you move?
As we are now stranded in Halo, no idea where we are or what this structure actually is. The best we can do is find other Marines who crash nearby and try to save them. Although you do save nameless Marines, you don't feel quite the same without saving a named character, especially Captain Keyes. You find out at the end of the mission you have to save him from the spaceship called Truth and Reconciliation.
What? There's no Covenant here. Think maybe nobody's home.
For the first time, you are with a squad of Marines who help you out infiltrate the Covenant ship. However, they can be easily eliminated and leave you alone again. If you are successful, you are tasked with finding the alternate route to unlock a door. No matter what, you always end up alone. Once you rescue Captain Keyes, you're in a cutscene discussing about Halo, what to do next. The Covenant can use it as a weapon, and will use it. It is up to you and Keyes to find ways to stop the Covenant at any cost. Ironically, this is the first and last time we see a named character be on our side. The following few missions follow suit. You fight the Covenant, you find out about Halo, you might find Marines, but they leave you alone after a while. It's not until the end of Assault on the Control Room where the story takes a twist of where Keyes is at and what dangers he might unveil.
The Covenant found something. Buried in this ring. Something horrible. And now, they're afraid.
Something buried? Where?
The Captain. We've got to stop the Captain.
Keys?
The weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time. Get out of here, find Keyes, stop him. Before it's too late!
Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
I don't... There! Get out!
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it!
And that is how we meet the Flood. The Mission 343 Guilty Spark is famous for that reason. This intense moment of a sudden twist of this parasite that makes these things turn to one of them. It can be alien or human, doesn't matter. You become that thing. All of a sudden, the fight to survive against the Covenant takes a twist and a nasty turn where it's survival against the Flood. A parasite that will pretty much zombify any living flesh to be part of a hive mind. Now that feeling of solitude is worse, find this unknown parasite that can easily take over your body is a nasty thought. And it worsens the idea of Halo being just a place for aliens and humans to fight against. At the end of the mission, you're reunited with a group of Marines. This will be the last time you ever see any other human in the entire game. The final fight is a pretty good stand against them, but they're no match for the Flood.
Greetings. I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spark.
Thus, we meet 343 Guilty Spark, a monitor from the Forerunners tasked with stopping the Flood from spreading over the universe. As he takes us into the library to find the key, the index, to activate Halo and finally stop the Flood from being able to reproduce. It is in the infamous library where we learn how lonely we get. Going through rooms, hallways, floors of just Flood. Our only companions are just our weapons. No Cortana, no Marines. Just us.
Protocol requires that I take possession of the index for transport. Your organic form renders you vulnerable to infection. The index must not fall into the hands of the Flood. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, really?
Cortana.
I've spent the last 12 hours cooped up in here watching you toady about, helping that thing get set to slit our throats.
Hold on now. He's a friend.
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum? Do you have any idea what that bastard almost made you do?
Yes. Activate Halo's defenses and destroy the Flood, which is why we brought the index to the control center.
Have no idea how this ring works, do you? Why the Forerunners built it? Halo doesn't kill Flood. It kills their food. Humans, Covenant, whatever. We're all equally edible. The only way to stop the Flood is to starve them to death. And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him.
Is it true?
More or less. Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the Flood. But you already knew that. I mean, how could you?
Left out that little detail, did he?
With Spark's betrayal, it is now up to Chief and Cortana to stop Halo from activating. It is from this point forward we are fighting against the Covenant and the Flood, sometimes even between the Covenant and Flood fighting themselves. Halo became more dangerous now. This Solitude is feeling worse now. We don't think about it, it's just a shooting. From now on, every level feels empty, desolate, enemies at every corner, dangers on every side of the wall. Who do you trust besides yourself and Cortana? This Solitude can make anyone go insane. But with the trusty weapons, we maintain that sanity and keep on marching forward.
Flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. The Covenant are terrified the Flood will repair the ship and use it to escape from Halo. They've sent in a strike team to neutralize the Flood and repair the ship for immediate departure. I've got a good lock on Captain Key's CNI transponder signal. He's alive, and the implants are intact. There's some interference from the cruiser's damaged reactor.
Chief, don't be a fool. Leave me.
Captain? Captain? I've lost him.
Once again, we are on a Covenant cruiser trying to save Captain Keyes. But this time, the Covenant and the Flood are fighting each other. As a lone wolf, it is best to go undetected if you can, or let them fight for as long as they can. Let them whittle down each other's numbers. If you're caught in a crossfire, you are the only common enemy, and they will take you down. As we go through the intense firefights between both armies, it makes you think, are there any humans left alive? Are we the only lone human warrior now fighting these threats? It is now you realize you're fighting for survival. Not for heroics, not to save the day, to save the galaxy from this infestation, to save it from this weapon of mass destruction. But can you make it? Can you succeed in this mission?
No human life signs detected. The captain, he's one of them. We can't let the flood get off this ring. You know what he'd expect. What he'd want us to do. It's done. I have the code. We should go.
With that final act of mercy, you now have one final objective: to destroy Halo by any means necessary. With two unstoppable opposing forces, is it truly possible to at least save the galaxy? The final mission, the Maw, as you oversee the ruined Pillar of Autumn. It is an odd feeling seeing that this place was populated by people, humans. You, now, it's just an empty shell, making way for the final fight. Once again, all alone against the Covenant and the Flood. No worse feeling than knowing your own home is now destroyed, and that you have to finish the job. With danger lurking at every corner, what was once the safe area and headquarters of the human base, Pillar of Autumn, is now just a war zone between two forces and yourself. The one place you once defended against the Covenant is now your final assault to stop all the threats and Halo itself. A vicious irony of how the game ends.
I leave home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should give us enough time to make it to a lifeboat and put some distance between ourselves and Halo before the detonation.
I'm afraid that's out of the question.
To no surprise, we have 343 and his Sentinels attacking us now, making this four-way fight. I said it couldn't get any worse for us.
Alert! The monitor has disabled all command access. We can't restart the countdown. The only remaining option is to detonate the ship's fusion reactors. That should do enough damage to destroy Halo.
As we try to destroy the Autumn, the monitor is trying to interfere with our plans and stop us from destroying Halo. It wants to activate it to destroy the Flood. It's an ironic twist that we destroy its own home world to save the galaxy. It is weird, but you feel Solitude here at an all-time low, due to the fact that this could have been better or easier with someone else helping you out. If it is not physically draining, it is mentally draining. This Solitude is extremely disheartening, to say the least.
Echo 419 to Cortana. Things are getting noisy down there. Everything okay?
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyze it. We have 5 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now.
Cortana to Echo 419. 2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again, evade.
I'm hit! Mayday! Mayday! Airport buses are shot to hell! I can't hold her! I can't hold her!
Echo 419! She's gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows 1 longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
As you see Foehammer get shot down, you realize there is no hope left, but there is one final effort to survive. Go to the longsword. Escape Halo, where you still have a chance. With very little time, it is still possible. Because at this point, there's no more war going on. There's no fight between the Covenant and the Flood. Just escape to survive. The only thing accompanying you is you, Cortana, the son of your Warthog, and the Pillar of Autumn blowing up at every turn as you try to escape.
That's the ship! Move! We need to get aboard now! We're cutting it close.
Here we go.
With Halo destroyed, your mission is now over. However, you and Cortana are the only survivors. The survivor's guilt is not truly your fault. But instead you have to look forward. You stopped these threats. You saved the galaxy without anyone knowing. You saved everyone you could. With Halo destroyed, the galaxy is now at peace. But now you're stuck in a cold, desolate space. A depressing ending for the story of a hero.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.